2016, the higher education policy landscape in Illinois was disjointed, shaped by decades of inattention and disinvestment. Then, a visionary group of education funders unified around the powerful idea that regardless of racial or income backgrounds, all students should have the opportunity to earn a college degree and have the support systems to achieve that goal. Those funders seeded the concept that would become the Partnership for College Completion. Today, we celebrate a decade of impact, progress, and possibility. PCC's leadership has helped make Illinois a national model for higher education equity. We have focused on three core pillars throughout the past decade. First, policy development, analysis, and advocacy. Second, institutional change and campus-led policy implementation. And third, backing up all of this work, research and data to provide evidence and elevate recommendations.
I think one of the things that has made PCC very effective in its role in getting attention on these issues that need attention and have been neglected for so long is our ability to analyze, synthesize, and elevate data that is very powerful. So it's nothing we're creating out of thin air. It's that we're actually looking at the trend lines over time and telling the story of what happened here and not letting decision makers, key stakeholders, leaders say, well, that's not what happened. We have sort of pulled that together and been able to tell a powerful story about how higher ed has really been left behind in Illinois. And if we want things like a robust, thriving state economy that attracts and retains its residents, that enables them to seek careers and jobs that provide wages and salaries that sustain their families and their lives, that flows through higher ed.
Through sustained partnerships with legislators, agencies, and higher education institutions, PCC turns ideas into action, helps shape legislation, and improves the experiences of students across every region of Illinois.
I think oftentimes when we think about equity, institutions just make a reactive decision. I think having it as a conscious choice gives them a chance to reflect on what the student needs and what's feasible instead of just making a reactive decision.
Lasting change doesn't happen overnight. It happens when we all come together, listen deeply, and act with purpose. PCC's unique model has driven meaningful and measurable change in student access, success, investment, and institutional culture. Our accomplishments so far include PCC published 16 reports between 2016 to 2025 that increased awareness of the systemic challenges within Illinois' higher education systems that can be addressed by our state officials and by colleges and universities. We published 89 policy and practice recommendations. 20 have been adopted by the state of Illinois, and another 35 recommendations are under consideration. The Illinois Equity and Attainment Initiative brought together a diverse group of 25 institutions to implement campus commitments to narrow equity disparities and increase student success, spurring dozens of reforms on campuses and at the state level. We championed the 2021 Developmental Education Reform Act, which maximizes students' potential for success. This reform to date has resulted in an estimated 64,000 fewer student enrollments in developmental education courses. PCC led the initial development and proposal design, as well as creation of a coalition to support and introduce a first-of-its-kind funding formula for public universities in the state legislature. This legislation would enable a funding model to adequately and equitably fund public universities across the state and direct resources to best serve students who stand to benefit the most from post-secondary completion. While we're proud of how far we've come, we know our work is far from finished. The challenges of today call for bold leadership, innovative solutions, and continued collaboration.
There's a lot to do. We know that, and we know that we have the right people in place at PCC in this right moment to be able to support our students as they help to navigate this transition from high school into college and into career. I couldn't be more confident, really, that PCC and our elected officials in college universities will help to create the right conditions for them to do that.
Our biggest opportunity over the next 10 years is to continue to address the systemic inequities that are still in our higher education system. The way you do that is by building big coalitions. And the best thing we've done over the last 10 years is to work with partners, institutions, funders, to make clear there's an equity imperative for our state. And now we can double down on that and make sure that it's realized for students across Illinois. It's true that higher education can seem out of reach for too many families. That's why we have to invest in our financial aid programs. It's also why we need to make sure that our institutions have the resources they need to ensure students are successful. Once we do that, we'll see more and more families, communities continuing to understand that investing in higher education, a college degree, is the best bet you can make for future economic opportunity, not just for yourself, but for the economy as a whole.
The next decade offers an opportunity to deepen our impact, strengthen our partnerships both in Illinois and beyond, and continue building a future where every student has the chance to thrive through education.